Recon trolling motors use the same design and technology for both Lowrance and Simrad brands. While this video focuses on Lowrance, the info also applies to Simrad Recon motors. Hey guys, Dylan Roberts, trolling motor product expert with Lowrance, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Recon trolling motor. And before we get started, we're going to go over the tools required for this job. We're going to need a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, a 5/16 socket, an 11/16 deep well socket with a 3/8 drive ratchet, a 7/16 wrench, and a power drill. First, we're going to install the propeller. To install the propeller, we're going to put the prop to where it matches the prop pin and fits into place. We're going to put our washer on first, then our nut. Then we're going to take our 11/16 deep well 3/8 drive ratchet and tighten the nut. All right, now our propeller is installed. Please note that the trolling motor is not in its final mounting position. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Next, we're going to remove our side plates with our number 2 Phillips low torque screwdriver. We're going to repeat the same steps on the opposite side. Now that our side plates are removed, next we're going to position the trolling motor in its desired correct position. There will be a template provided in the packaging. In this case, we've already got our trolling motor in the desired position with our upper head inside the gunwale of the boat and the edge of the mount 4 inches from the tip of the boat. So now that we're in the desired position, we're going to deploy the trolling motor and ensure that our shaft has at least 1.5 inches from the gunwale edge of the rub rail. Before deploying the trolling motor, we're going to slide the cam lock depth collar up the shaft. Next, we're going to deploy our trolling motor to check our distance from the gunwale to the shaft. You want to carefully hold the mount from falling off the boat when you're doing this, best with 2 people. Now that our trolling motor is in the deployed position, we're going to ensure that our measurement is in the correct position at 1.5 inches from the edge of the shaft to the gunwale of the boat. Now that we've got our trolling motor in the correct position and collected our measurement, we're going to stow the trolling motor, but be mindful to not let the mount base move when you put the trolling motor in the stowed position. The depth collar from earlier, we're going to slide back against the transmission. With our trolling motor in the same position, we're going to mark our 6 bolt holes on each side of the mount. There are 7 to choose from, and there's also a mounting template that can be used as well. Now that we've marked our holes, we're going to slide the trolling motor out of the way and use our 5/16 bit to drill the holes. I do want to call out that in this case we have a 36 volt system and we're using 6 bolts versus if you have a 24 volt system, you can use 4 bolts. Another thing to note before installing the hardware, if you have a carpeted surface, the rubber spacers are not required. If you have a fiberglass surface, the rubber spacers are recommended. Next, we're going to position the trolling motor to where our pre-drilled holes are and install the hardware on one side of the mount, along with the nut and washer on the underside. When installing the nut and washer, be sure to leave them hand tight on this one side of the trolling motor. Next, we're going to rock the trolling motor to one side and install our remaining hardware. Now that our hardware is installed, we're going to take our 7/16 wrench and tighten the hardware. Now that our trolling motor is bolted to the boat, we're going to take our side plates and install them with our number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Next, we're going to install our 3 provided AA batteries into our Recon foot pedal. First, we're going to remove our center clip by grabbing the top locking tab, pulling out and pulling away from the underside of the pedal. Then we're going to grab our flip switch and unlock the locking tab, pull it away from the pedal, then peel back our rubber grommet to expose our battery. And then we're going to install our 3 AA batteries. Now that our batteries are installed, we're going to install the rubber grommet back over the batteries. Very important to ensure that this seal is fitted all the way around to ensure that it is watertight. Next, we're going to grab our flip switch, put one end on the my right hand side, click it till it clicks, then grab the center clip, put the bottom end in first, and then press it until it clicks in the click position. I do want to call out that in this case, we're using batteries in our foot pedal. You do have the option to use the 12 volt power supply for the pedal. Next, we're going to remove our bottom plate with our number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Now that our bottom plate is removed, we're going to take our button module and install it on the pedal. We'll take the button module, put it on the underside, press up until it's fit, Then we will take our power wire, fit it through the grooves outlined in the pedal, and plug it into the red connector. Next, we're going to install our joiner plate. And use our number 2 Phillips screwdriver to tighten the screws. Now that our lower key module is installed, we're going to grab our bottom plate and install it to the pedal. We're going to take our number 2 Phillips screwdriver and tighten the plate to the pedal. Now our lower key module is installed. Next, we're going to install our provided 2 AA batteries to the remote. We're going to grab the D-ring, put it in the open position, pull the door away from the remote, and install our 2 AA batteries. Take our cover, put the tab end first, grab the D-ring, position it, press it into the fit position, give it a quarter turn, and press the D-ring down. Now your batteries are installed. Next, we're going to connect our trolling motor to the 36-volt power supply. In this case, we're going to use a Marinco 70-amp plug. The wires can be hardwired to the boat supply depending on the user's preference. For further wiring instructions, please reference the installation manual. Next, we're going to connect our NMEA 2000 connection from the boat to the trolling motor. Finally, we're going to connect our Sonar adapter cable. And now that our trolling motor is fully installed and ready for the water, please let us know if you have any questions.